Deal. UncleCoon in the house, dropping knowledge, stay true, no room for doubt. From debates to celebs, we cover it all. Tune in, hit subscribe, you don't want to miss the call. Real deal. UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride. Politics, pop culture, and everything between. Big Al's got the scoop, you know what I mean? From Harris to Trump, we break it down. Common sense talk, the best show around. Real. UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride. Cash App, show some love, support the grind. Big Al's on the rise, one of a kind. UncleCoon podcast, the place to be for real talk, real folks, and real TV. Real. UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride.
Yo. What it do? What's up? Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Big Al, UncleCoon. We sitting in on a Monday night in Louisiana. How you doing? What's up, Isaiah? What it do? Isaiah is chilling, but he is checking us out, watching from the bed. Isaiah, you in the bed? Yep. Isaiah said we're going to talk about that clown, Joe Biden. Maybe not. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about today, though, bro. Man, I took a day off yesterday. I figured y'all didn't want to see my pet. But anyway, we back, and we got a couple things to share with you. We got news from the Daniel Penny jury. They found him not guilty. We also got a little bit of Louisiana news. We got some stuff going on here in Louisiana that we wanted to share with you. And also we have a little information on the United Healthcare CEO that was gunned down in the streets of New York City. Got a little something on that. And I got a couple of bonus clips also that I'll show you if time permits. What it do, Facebook? Shout out to Facebook. Shout out to the crew over at Facebook. Appreciate y'all dropping in. Hey, you know what? Y'all are something else. Y'all are something else. This crew here that supports this channel, you guys are amazing. Y'all have been showing support from day one. And because of you guys, you see this little dollar sign over here under the comments. That means that our channel has been monetized. Now, that means you can give, I think, a super chat. You can put a super chat in there, and it helps the channel. And then, y'all know how that goes. You put a super chat in there, I recognize that immediately and call you out in front of everybody. So that's pretty cool. So we got that done thanks to you guys. And also, they told me that, man, you got to work at this thing hard for like a year before you get to 1,000 subscribers. And we did it in 5 months. So that's thanks to you guys sharing the channel, talking about it. And I know a lot of people are talking. I busted up in the subway a couple of days ago. And when I walked in there, the young man behind the counter hollered, "UncleCoon!" So I thought that was kind of cool. But anyway, that's what it do. That's what's going on. So I appreciate you. Appreciate every one of you, especially my boy Isaiah. Isaiah is always on, doesn't miss a beat. And so let's get into it. Let's see what we got going on. And we got Daniel Penny. I got a couple of clips I'm going to show you. I know we probably got some people probably mad, thinking both ways, but I have never, ever been taught that two wrongs make a right. I've never seen things that way. And I was always taught if a man is wrong, he's wrong, period. And if he's wrong, you can't make a right out of it. And so this stuff that's going on with Daniel Penny, I don't believe that man should have ever been charged. Now, I don't think he got up that morning and said, well, let me go find a Negro and choke him out. See, first of all, you got to look at that. That was no intent at all. He was trying to stop a man from acting a fool and was threatening to kill people on a subway. And it was women and children and Black people in there. So I don't think, I don't know if you call him a hero. I don't know. I'm not saying that, but I don't understand why he was even on trial. And especially in New York with some of the stuff that they have going on there. And a lot of stuff they're not prosecuting at all, which we know is criminal, right? We got people breaking in people's houses. We got people snatching people's purses on the highway, on the road, on the sidewalks, and doing all kind of stuff, busting people's windows out, robbing them, and while they're sitting at a red light and all this kind of stuff. And then we catch the people, and then the people turn them loose. And I'm not trying to equate this man's life, the man that lost his life, but when you're wrong, man, you got, hey. But I don't think Daniel Penny got up that morning and said, let me go find somebody to choke him out. I don't believe that at all. I think he was almost forced into action based on his training and based on what he think. And I think that men, I think there's a lack thereof. I mean, what would I have done? I'd have grabbed his ass too, right? I don't know if I don't know if I know how to do a chokehold, but I'd have done something, right? But I don't think you can blame the man for that. What's up, Damon? Damon is in the house. What it is, Damon. But anyway, we'll go to the screen and let's see what we got going on. So I'm going to show you this. We show you the news about Daniel Penny and that he was found not guilty. And I believe, personally, I think it was the right verdict, just based on what I know about the trial and what happened. I don't think the man should have been in trial, period. Okay, but check it out.
All right, we've got some more breaking news out of New York City. Daniel Penny is found not guilty in the New York City subway chokehold death of Jordan Neely. Let's go to our partners, CBS News New York, for this breaking news.
Good afternoon. I'm Jessica Moore. We interrupt programming with breaking news. A verdict is in the Daniel Penny trial. Penny has been found not guilty of criminally negligent homicide. Penny is the Marine veteran accused in the chokehold death of Jordan Neely on board a...
Hold on 1 second. Let me just say this right quick. I just want to make this observation. I don't know. Y'all probably say, yeah, you're tripping. But I don't remember breaking news when President Trump was shot. I don't remember that. I don't remember any breaking news. I remember it coming on later that day when the news came on. But I don't remember stations doing that. Maybe they did because I was watching it live on YouTube when it happened. I wasn't watching TV, so maybe they did, but I don't remember they having breaking news when the president got shot. But anyway, my point is the news media is biased, ladies and gentlemen.
Subway train last year. Over the last 8 weeks, jurors heard testimony from more than 40 witnesses, including subway passengers aboard the F train, police who responded, a Marine Corps instructor who taught Daniel Penny chokehold techniques, and Penny's relatives and friends. Penny himself did not testify during the trial. His attorneys say Penny was trying to protect other riders while Jordan Neely was making threats and acting erratically on the train. Prosecutors say Penny intended to protect riders but used too much force, gripping Neely's neck for nearly 6 minutes, which prosecutors say was past the point of him posing a threat. The chokehold death, as you remember, sparked protests last spring and debate over how the city responds to mental health emergencies. The two charges originally in this case were manslaughter in the second degree and criminally negligent homicide. You might remember on Friday, the jury came back deadlocked twice. Prosecutors then moved to drop the top charge of manslaughter. Here's a look at that verdict sheet. After dismissing the superseding charge, jurors had to decide if the prosecution proved beyond a reasonable doubt that Penny caused the death of Neely, did so with criminal negligence, and was not justified in his actions.
See, that's the point right there. Was he criminally negligent in causing the homicide? You see, and I don't think that wasn't the case. He didn't even know the guy. I don't even think they would have had if this dude had been acting a fool and threatening people on the thing. I don't think any of this would have happened.
Jurors were allowed to take Penny's character into consideration when they weighed that character against all the other evidence. The jury in this trial is anonymous, made up of 12 people from Manhattan, a diverse group, 7 women and 5 men. We're going to take you live now to the courthouse in Lower Manhattan. Tim McNicholas is standing by. He was there when the verdict was read outside. Alice Gaynor is inside the courtroom. Tim, we heard reports earlier of protesters outside. What's the mood there outside the courthouse now that the verdict has been read?
Did you know that you can make between 5 and 25% on your money per month passively without predicting the money?
You know, Jessica, just about 10 minutes ago, NYPD actually used barricades to divide 2 groups of protesters behind me. I'm not sure if you can see these officers back here, but there are 2 groups of protesters. There's a group that is supporting Daniel Penny. They had megaphones and signs in support of Penny. And there's also a group that wanted to see Penny convicted. Those people were actually chanting earlier today, and that came up in today's proceedings in the courtroom. Penny's defense team expressed concern that that group was maybe chanting so loud that the jury could hear them. And the judge actually expressed the idea that maybe he could move the jury to another room because of that. But right now, there are some protesters chanting. You can hear them right now behind me. They've been out here all morning. They've been saying things such as no justice, no peace, and they want justice for Jordan Neely, Jessica.
Live position. You're a little bit removed from the very front of the courthouse, as the NYPD often does with us reporters.
Okay, well, y'all see what's going on with that. Okay, but now let me go over here. Let me show you something else. Let me show you this right here. This is my boy over here. This is Don Lucre. This is his channel, and he did a piece today on people that are pissed and want to protest, and it is BLM, Black Lives Matter, has shown back up. So let me show you what these people are talking about. But this is my boy right here.
Okay, just in. So BLM is threatened to burn down New York City over the Jordan Neely and Daniel Penny verdict. This is some of the most unhinged stuff that you could see this year alone.
BLM have threatened to burn down parts of the city, cars, whatnot. Let's watch. They're angry over Daniel Penny being found not guilty.
Do it for us. And clearly, if we get to this point, it's too late. We have to be there for each other, and that's our call to action. Everybody that's pissed off at this verdict, I challenge you to go outside today and help one person.
I got to start this off by first criticizing this Negro. He's talking about a call to action. He's starting off this video saying that there's a call to action. That itself can get you locked up. That itself is inciting violence, because anything he's saying before and after that, pretty much after, more than anything, it's now a call to action. So this is going to be a pretty interesting video, and I can't wait to dive in it.
That's my challenge. If you're angry, if you're hurt, go help one person. That's how we beat the system. That's how we turn this around, by being there for each other.
I just want to say, I miss my son. My son didn't have to go through this. I didn't have to go through this either.
Now, I have to bring this up. For Jordan Neely, this is his father. I want to start this off in the most sincere way possible, and I want you guys to hear it clearly. Yep. Screw Jordan Neely's father. And this is why. He comes up here sobbing, talk about he misses his son. Now, I know I sound somewhat heartless for saying this, and please don't attack me yet. Just stay with me. He misses his son, yet he abandoned his son 5 years ago, left him to be homeless, left him to be strung out, led him to be to the point by threatening people's lives over ginger ale on a subway. You don't miss your son. You're missing opportunities, because if you miss your son, he wouldn't have been lost in the first place. As a real father, you could have took him in. As a real father, you could have got him help. As a real father, you could have prevented his death. But sit there and say that you miss your son, as if the world took your son away from you. It's completely ignoring that your son left the world himself with his own intentions. Through his actions, created his own demise. But to have people come up here and be victims, it's the same thing like Floyd. When Floyd passed, you saw all his family standing up beside him, smiling. Not him, I'm sorry, the photos of him. But I'm saying that to say this. Those people, they didn't have a relationship with Floyd with over 7 years and 12 years or something. Look it up. Don't shoot the messenger. They had them get all together for a photo op. And I understand both sides do this. Democrats do it. Republicans do it. It's about selling the story, because us as the viewer, us as the consumer, it has to be an entertaining story. They got to sell it to us. It got to make sense to the viewer, because if it don't make sense to the viewer, you're going to start questioning the messenger. So I can understand why they do what they do. I'm not oblivious to it, but I do have to criticize it. It's just wrong to sit here and make it seem like these people had the greatest relationship ever, and Daniel Penny just came in as the big bad wolf and blew down.
Today, we're going to do a side-by-side.
Jordan Neely. That's just not the truth.
It hurts. Really, really hurts. What are we going to do, people? What's going to happen to us now?
He said, what are we going to do? Man, what you talking about? What you should have done.
Enough of this. System is rigged. Come on, people. Let's do something about this.
Let's do something about it. Too often, we have Eric Garner's mother here.
So they brought Eric Garner's mother too. Look, it's almost like, I hate what they're starting the Democrat Party. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but they are creating the victim Olympics. You got Eric Garner mother here, Mike Brown cousin, George Floyd niece. Like, bro, stop creating this fake story as if black people are being targeted. Stop creating this fake story when we be acting like antagonists in some of the scenarios we get laid down in. Now, there is a specific scenario. You ain't going to ever catch me being one of them Republicans that make it seem like every black person that gets shot is wrong. Hell no. I'm realistic. You guys know I keep it fair. I don't approve of that story where those two individuals in Georgia shot that black man. I think they were standing on the back of a pickup truck or something like that. It was a while ago. And it was a black individual near Valdosta, Georgia. That was about 2021-ish, maybe 22-ish. One of those two, I don't know. But lo and behold, they do have video footage of that same individual walking around that Georgia neighborhood, breaking into locations that he was not authorized to be in. It does not mean you're supposed to die. It does not mean people are supposed to go down and hunt you. But we have to be fair. We got to look at both sides like, bro, we got to stop bringing certain things on themselves. I'm thankfully 30 years old. I'm telling you right now, there have been 3 different occasions on my life where I could have been clipped and gone, whether that be arrested or killed. And I'm telling you, it's because of the choices I made. I literally wouldn't be here. My entire story is supposed to be different. I can name 3 scenarios where I'm not supposed to be here, and it was thank God in my choices. So your choices can accelerate your demise. We have to start accepting that. God, we got to start embracing it so we can start avoiding it.
Now, that's a young man, 30 years old.
There's too often this is happening where we're left alone in this society. We got to stop that. We have to change how we impact each other.
Now, so they calling for the community to cut up and burn down stuff. How does that make any sense? I don't understand at all. I don't understand. I don't get this at all.
Jordan came on that subway car. The first thing he asked for was food, and he was killed. And the person who killed him was not held responsible. We cannot allow this to keep happening.
Okay. Oh. Look like the police are attacking protesters.
Good morning, everyone. Here we stand once again in front of this unjust system. I stood here 10 years ago because they did not give justice to my son with the chokehold. I fought hard to get the anti-chokehold.
As I stated, this is the Victim Olympics. I'm sorry, the Victim Avengers. It's victimization Avengers. And this is my problem with having this stuff, this inventory for blacks, because it leads us to believe that when we turn on the TV, like, God damn, we still ain't get nowhere yet. That is black people. We'll look at the TV and say, it's just the same as slavery. It's just the same as the time of Jim Crow. It's the same as segregation. Nothing has changed. I can't stand the whites. That's the mindset it leads to. We need a different approach. I mean, God damn it. We in 2024 heading to 2025. Is it not exhausting for anyone else about this race stuff? Is it just not exhausting yet? Yes,
Yeah, it's exhausting for me. I'm sick of this shit. I did a video on that. Get rid of racism, man. Just throw it away. Throw it away. So you mean to tell me that every time there's a conflict between two people and they're a different color, that is racism? No, that's a conflict. What in the hell? Man, we got to stop this mess.
We have came goddamn far, and we need to start admitting it. We need to stop acting like we're farther behind than we are. Yep. We have made so much progress, but when you turn on the TV and you see this stuff on the mainstream media, you constantly think we didn't get far enough, which couldn't be further from the truth.
Bill passed, which did pass, but it shouldn't only be for police officers, it should be for civilians also. No one deserved to be choked to death. And you know, we're in that courtroom and people are cheering.
Now I wonder what would they be saying if this guy had went off in that subway and killed some people and did what he was threatening to do. Would these same people be up there with the same energy? I don't think so, because Daniel Penny took him down. Then the police were not called in. Well, you know, they were called in, but they didn't get there before this happened. So it was going to be a bad day for this guy, looks like, anyway, based on what he did, not what Daniel Penny did. And I know a lot of people, I know Facebook just shut me down. Oh, man, there you go with that. Man, I'm just saying, right is right, wrong is wrong. It doesn't matter what color you are. Two wrongs does not make a right.
For the verdict. They made the loudest noise. The judge did nothing. But when his father spoke out, they put him out the courtroom. Is that justice? Or what? We can't allow this to keep going on. We have to fight this system. That's what I had to do. I had to fight to get the little justice that I got. I got one police officer fired. There's more that
What about your money?
Need to be fired. But I tell this family, do not give up. Because that's what they want you to do. They want to discourage you. Just like they tried to discourage me. But 10 years later, I'm still fighting. And I'm not only fighting for myself, I'm fighting for families like yourself. That's why I have to come out when this injustice is done.
It's like everybody else has vigilantes.
This dude.
We need some black vigilantes.
That's right.
People want to jump up and choke.
The Eric Garner situation, you guys know I got to be right straight down the middle. The Eric Garner situation, this dude was only in a chokehold for 9 seconds. Don't get me wrong, 9-second chokehold is hella long. But yet again, they ignored the ulterior reasonings why these people are to pass away. They want to sell a narrative, they get it set up, and they send it to the people. And I want you to also notice something. When BLM starts their announcements, when BLM starts their speeches, it's always very loud, extremely loud, and always pretty physical with the hand movements, the pointing. They want to emit emotions. They want you to focus on how they are emoting and not listen to their words. And if you start to do that, you can find yourself being mad without any basis as to why you're angry. You can find yourself out at a protest and you can be approached by someone that is opposing your entire protesting argument. And they could say, why are you mad? If you get manipulated by things like the hand pointing and the loud screaming from these Negroes, you'll find yourself out there without an answer saying, I don't know why I'm mad. I just saw niggas was mad and I wanted to follow them. I wanted to take to the streets because they told me to. It's nothing wrong with fighting, but you need to be fighting with some direction, some guidance, and some projection. You need to know where you're heading. And these people are fighting a pointless battle. They don't know the end result of it. They don't know how to get a change from it. And honestly, they never speak on statistics. I'm sorry. I love statistics. They never bring up the statistics of how many of us are being choked to death. They never bring up the statistics of how many of us are being shot in the back. For the black people that's listening, that's watching, I'm just being real. Hey, if they gunning us down, I want to see the numbers. You should too, bro. Like, let us see how much they're killing us off. And then when I start to open these books and look at these numbers, I say, God damn.
Okay, this is the automatic course creator. And if you are looking for the fastest and most affordable way
that's true.
It's always been us, just getting rid of us. These white folks are barely putting us down. In terms of collecting bodies, man, we do more of that through a gangbanging year than any white man can. And it doesn't give no white man the right to gun us down. But we have to stop ignoring that we have given ourselves rights to do the same thing.
Us and kill us for being loud? How about we do the same when they attempt to oppress us?
Right.
I'm tired. I know you're looking.
This is who the hell is they? See, that's what I don't understand. Who is they and we? I don't know none of these people. None of them. Except Dom Lecrae. And then you want me to go to the street and act a fool and burn up stuff? Man, please.
To be like, oh, go and march. Go.
This is literally calling for violence. Hello. This is literally calling for violence. I am flabbergasted.
No. This weekend, I want you to hold a community event everywhere from the Bronx to Houston to Seattle to Florida. Black people hold community events and talk about what you need.
In fact, Danny Penny was justified in using that force, and he used less than Jordan Neely did because he threatened imminent, deadly physical force. And you were entitled to use that kind of force. Although Danny Penny didn't even know he died. He's speaking to the cops. He didn't even know he died. He thought that apparently that he was unconscious. In the end, what we have here are people demanding justice for Jordan Neely. Let me make one point. The truth is that Jordan Neely was on a list of New York City's most needy, homeless, and mentally ill people in a city of 8 million. He's on a list of 50. He had open warrants for assaulting women on the subway. One senior woman in particular.
He's a menace. And I'm tired of seeing, I'm sorry, I'm going to let it out. I can't hold it. I'm tired of seeing photos of him in the Michael Jackson outfit trying to make it seem as if this dude is a good Samaritan. Matter of fact, I haven't seen a video of this Negro dancing yet. I ain't seen no moonwalk. I haven't seen none of that, so they can beat it with this bullshit. I'm so tired of every time that someone gets in trouble, it's time to see us smiling with our graduation pictures. It ain't time for that. No, it ain't time to smile. No, it ain't time to smile. You supposed to be frowning right now. They supposed to be showing you as who you are. I don't want to see them mask people up and make them look clean. I want to see the nitty gritty. I want to see people for who they are. Stop giving us that nice smile and photoshopping our teeth. Nigga, if I'm a criminal, let people know I'm a criminal. Let people know I am a villain. I am not a God-fearing man. Let them know. If I am a radical that do something like that, let them know that I was a piece of trash. Don't show me smiling as if I'm a good guy. Save that for those that deserve it, goddamn.
Particularly, he had just broken her orbital bone. He had 42 arrests in 7 years. Where were these people trying to help Jordan Neely? But Danny Penny did what all of us would want someone to do if we were on that subway car. And I think that America breathes a sigh of relief today. America now recognizes that we can protect other Americans and not be accused of being vigilantes, that we can be good Samaritans within the confines of the law. And if a jury in New York City can find Danny Penny not guilty, well, then I feel good about the rest of America.
Judge, quick follow-up question. Would it pass constitutional muster, and do you think it's likely for the DA to recharge Daniel Penny?
First of all, it's double jeopardy. Secondly, they shouldn't have gotten involved in the politics of saying, we're going to dismiss the first count of man 2 in this indictment. Stay out of it. They said that they couldn't come to an agreement. Why all the fancy footwork between the Manhattan DA and the judge? That's not going to happen, because if they can't prove criminally negligent homicide, for sure they're not going to be able to come back with man 2, and it is double jeopardy.
Attention black folks who don't have enough saved for retirement. I'm going to give you some information today. I know it's going to.
Now, for those that's watching, here's the interesting part to the video. And if you have been following this long, as you guys know, I like to give us something good to go out with, something very interesting that you typically not seeing on the news. So this actually just happened. This video right here is about 42 minutes old as of right now. So it's extremely fresh. Right after this verdict with the Jordan Neely and Daniel Penny, it's crazy how both of their last names sound similar. There was absolute riots and protests outside of the courtroom, which honestly is still going on right now as I'm filming this video. So depending on when you're watching this, they're either being arrested right now, still rioting, or in jail. No in-betweens.
Wait. All right, hold on. Get
off. Now, see, when you break the law, and then the police grabbing you, ain't no hold it. Ain't none of that. You finna go down. And that's resisting is what the hell it is. Man, boy, I'm telling you, boy, we're setting a bad precedent for the young people, man. They probably been telling y'all to get on up around here, disperse and all that they usually do. And then now they coming in at you. Now you throwing your hands up talking about you didn't do nothing. Nah, bro, it's too late. Yeah, you going to jail.
Come around.
He was hungry! He was killed for being poor! No justice, Shame on you! No justice, no peace!
This is fucking sick. They don't give a goddamn about us. I didn't hurt nobody or kill no goddamn body. But I did.
Like I said,
who is they? See, that's what I keep wondering. Who is they? They don't give a damn about us. Who is they and us? It doesn't make sense.
Said, I can't stand the angry, loud black man because that's always what they want us to be. Why every time they put a speakerphone in our hand, we got to be extremely loud and angry? That's what the speakerphone is for, Negro. It's to make you loud. Shut the hell up. Stop being so loud. Stop being so angry. Stop matching the biased character that they have created for us. Stop being an angry black man. I'm tired of us always just appearing to be the angry black man. If we could get some years of us not being louder than others, not being more reactive than others, that stereotype ceases and desists. Then we can be as loud as everyone else, because that bias is a real thing. And because we live up to it, it prevents us from really emoting like we want to. I'm being honest. Black people, when they get mad and they start to cursing, everyone just assume all hell is going to break loose because of stereotypes. Yep. That isn't fair. That is bias. That is wrong. I don't approve of that, but it exists. It don't matter if I don't approve it. And that's the truth about things. You can't fix things just by saying, I don't like it. That ain't going to change anything. You have to be the change that you're waiting for.
Yep. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you see what's going on with that. So now I don't know a lot of that stuff, man. That's just, Damon says he was acting a fool and had 42 arrests. Yep. 47, I think it was, man. So they were just, how was he even walking around? And if people need mental help, then that needs to be taken care of as well. But y'all know what time it is. I think we got a new president, and I think a lot of this stuff will be taken care of. But don't be surprised if we don't see another incident come up, because they're going to try to BLM is trying to crank back up. And I think they're trying to distract us and do some wild stuff before the inauguration. I don't know that to be certain, but threatening to burn down New York City and doing all this stuff, that does not make sense to me. But anyway, so we got those two together, and then we have, as you know, the CEO from United Healthcare was gunned down in New York City, and they found the dude that shot him. And ladies and gentlemen, it is a scandal, and it looks like it's getting bigger by the day. And one of the content creators that I absolutely check out every single day is Melanie King. And Melanie King has done a story on this and has discovered a scandal. And it is getting bigger by the day. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Melanie King, and she is talking about the scandal behind the United Healthcare CEO. It's a mess going on here. Check it out.
So what's really behind the murder of Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare? While many are speculating that it has something to do with the insurance company denying claims to people that they're supposed to insure, there's more to that story that we need to investigate that involves insider trading. United Healthcare has been embroiled in scandal and levels of corruption that would make Enron look like child's play. There's a lot to unpack here and stories that the mainstream are not really reporting on. But before I give you those details, take a look at this video with the timeline of exactly what happened on that day.
It's around 6:44 a.m. local time on December 4th in New York City. Local authorities receive a call. Gunshots fired outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan.
Got a male shot outside of the hotel. No prep description at this time.
The CEO of one of the biggest health insurers in the country was just gunned down in the middle of Manhattan in what would later be identified as a targeted hit. A manhunt is underway for the gunman who is at large, but here's what we know so far about the suspect's movement before and after the killing.
Hey, you see the headlines right now? They're going wacko. Office, apartments, hotels.
It's December 4th, around 5 a.m. local time, nearly 2 hours before the shooting, and the suspect is seen outside this hostel on West 103rd Street on the Upper West Side, according to surveillance footage reviewed by local authorities. Police later released these images of the suspect, whom authorities believe is seen flirting with a desk clerk in the hostel lobbies days before the shooting. 6:15 a.m. In this surveillance footage, police sources tell ABC News an individual who appears to be the suspect is seen leaving a subway station just 3 blocks away from where the crime would unfold moments later. These surveillance photos show the suspect at a Starbucks sometime before the shooting. His face is partially covered. The exact time of this sighting has not yet been confirmed. 6:29 a.m. A person who appears to be the suspect walks past a parking lot on West 54th Street, just 50 meters away from the site of the shooting. 6:44 a.m. The victim, 50-year-old Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, is seen walking towards the Hilton Hotel, where the company's annual investors conference is set to take place. The masked gunman comes up behind Thompson and shoots him in the back. Nearby witnesses would later describe the suspect as holding a gun with a silencer. Surveillance footage shows the gunman continuing to shoot Thompson as he walked towards him, stopping to clear a gun jam before firing again. Police tell ABC News the shooter first fled on foot and then got on an electric bike heading north towards Central Park. 6:48 a.m. Officers arrive and find Thompson on the sidewalk with gunshot wounds to the leg and back. He is taken to a hospital where he would later be pronounced dead. Police called the killing brazen, targeted, and premeditated.
The shooter appears to be a light-skinned male. He's wearing a light brown or cream-colored jacket, a black face mask, black and white sneakers, and a very distinctive gray backpack.
Just before 7 a.m., a person who appears to be the suspect is seen on the Upper West Side riding a bike. He's heading west, away from Central Park. He appears to no longer be carrying a backpack. Police say they are closing in on releasing the name of the suspect, but he remains at large. The bullet casings found at the scene had the words "deny, defend, and depose" written on them. The motive for the deadly attack still remains unknown, police sources tell ABC News. A $10,000 reward is being offered for information regarding the suspect.
Now, could it be an armed vigilante who was out for justice because his claims were denied for life-saving medical treatment, or maybe for him or one of his family members? Or is there more to the story? Was he a hired hitman designed to take out Brian Thompson as part of a bigger plot? And to lay this out, we need to understand, why was the Senate investigating United? Last fall, the New York Times reported that the majority staff of a Senate panel released a scathing report on insurers' refusal to pay for care for older people who have suffered falls or strokes. United Healthcare in particular was cited for a surge in denials for what is called post-acute care. Under United's system of prior authorization, the report found the denial rate for post-acute care increased from 22.7% in 2022 from 10.9 in 2020. And how's this for a coincidence? The Times also stated that CEO Brian Thompson had been chief executive of the insurance division since 2021, overseeing a period of substantial profits. The division reported $281 billion in revenues last year. So what does that mean? Well, Brian Thompson rose to the ranks of United Healthcare by institutionalizing the denial of coverage. Millions of Americans were denied their claims. They were denied life-saving medical treatments. They were denied coverage for things that were supposed to be covered. But why did they do this? Well, clearly it was for profit. And now all over social media, you're seeing people exposing how they were denied coverage by United, how they have not been able to get treatment for their child, their mother, themselves. They've had family members pass away because of this. Take a look at just one of thousands of stories that are out there.
He states that it's not medically necessary treatment.
The top 1%, they don't want you to know the secret behind true wealth. And it starts.
That was an internal phone call between two United Healthcare workers. They're laughing about denying someone's insurance claim. We're ProPublica, a nonprofit newsroom, and we investigated. The person they're laughing about is Chris McNaughton. He was in college when he was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, a chronic autoimmune disease. It took him a really long time to find meds that put his disease into remission. But when he finally did, United flagged Chris's case as a high-dollar account. Ultimately, United said it wouldn't pay for his medicine because it was not medically necessary.
When I started that treatment, I think I had literally failed every other ulcerative colitis medication. So it would almost seem that it was the very definition of medically necessary and that nothing else had worked.
When United turned down Chris's claim, his medical bills were running nearly $2 million a year. So Chris did something few people ever do. He sued. He was able to get his claim file and question United representatives under oath. He was shocked by what he learned, like that a United doctor had literally cut and pasted denial language from a nurse's notes.
That's under RN recommendation. I usually copy that and paste it if I agree.
That doctor said he's done over 10,000 denials for United, and he didn't usually look at the medical records. He just signed his name. Chris's records revealed another United doctor who actually agreed with Chris's physician was ignored. United had paid for that doctor's opinion, but when the company didn't like what it saw, it buried that report. Chris also got emails and audio recordings, like the one at the beginning of this video.
It's hard to feel that they're really worried about your safety when there are emails that are celebrating the fact that your treatment was denied.
In the end, Chris's medications were paid for by insurance. United said in a statement that the company's guiding concern was always his well-being. Right now in the US, about 1 in every 7 health insurance claims are denied. Every year, millions of sick Americans who pay for health insurance are denied coverage because their insurer says a drug or procedure is not medically necessary or not a covered benefit. Insurance companies have their own doctors and their own rules for deciding what is appropriate care. They also have the power to say they won't pay for care or medicine that your doctor asks for. Data from state and federal regulators shows that for people who get insurance through healthcare.gov, about 17% of claims are rejected. That means a large number of people wind up fighting insurance companies at some point in their lives. But a study found that Americans only file formal appeals on 0.2% of claims denied by insurers. When fighting with insurance company doctors over what is medically necessary, many people just give up. And it makes sense. It's a really complicated system.
While stories like these are really disgusting, it doesn't really get to the heart of the corruption that's at United. They have been under investigation by the DOJ for violating antitrust laws. And I don't want you guys to get confused. The DOJ has one investigation, the Senate has another. And to make things even worse, United was being sued for not disclosing these investigations to their investors. The investors found out about all of this, not because United told them. No, they found out through the media. And by then, they had already lost millions of dollars. So while these investigations were going on and they didn't tell their investors about it and they're getting sued for that, as well as other claims that are happening, the CEO, Brian, and other executives sold all of their shares in United. Listen to the details of exactly how corrupt United Healthcare actually is.
This is breaking news out of New York as the CEO of United Healthcare has just been killed. He was gunned down around 6:45 a.m. this morning, which is Wednesday, specifically outside of a Hilton hotel in Midtown. And the attacker is actually still on the loose and has yet to be identified. Police are offering $10,000 as a reward. But here's the thing, right? This just happened in the midst of United Healthcare being probed by the Department of Justice. Now, it's interesting because the DOJ also sued to block the company's acquisition of home health and health provider Amedisys. And Thompson was actually accused of being aware of the DOJ probe, naming Thompson and others and accusing them of unlawful practices and not telling investors before he unloaded over 31% of his stock, unloading $12 million worth of shares, with Thompson actually being the biggest insider seller, while its parent company, United Healthcare Group, has come under fire from angry patients who are claiming that the insurer refused to cover their care. And in July, 150 protesters actually gathered outside of their headquarters in Minnesota, and they were with the People's Action Institute campaign group, with campaigners writing a pretty expressive letter to UHD's CEO Andrew Whitty, saying specifically that UHD's profiteering by denying care is a disgrace. And United Healthcare was also accused of using AI to deny claims, specifically for post-acute care services and Medicare Advantage. That lawsuit being filed by families of 2 senior Medicare Advantage members who actually died after the insurer allegedly used the NavaHealth platform, reportedly illegally, to reject care. And according to that lawsuit, the technology has a 90% error rate. But in a statement to Fierce Healthcare, United Health said that the lawsuit had no merit, apparently because they were not using NavaHealth to make decisions, with the spokesperson actually saying that the tool is not used to make coverage determinations. But according to a recent investigation into the company by Stat News, internal documents show that NavaHealth set a 2023 target to keep rehab stays of patients in Medicare Advantage plans within 1% of the days projected by the algorithm. Former employees actually said that they were forced to abide by this rule or face discipline or even termination of their roles, regardless if the extra days were covered under Medicare coverage rules. And there is a lot more included in this investigation.
Now,
ladies and gentlemen, it's a big scam. There's a lot going on, but let's continue. There's more.
to add on to the lawsuits and the investigations, United had a data breach that happened in February, and Brian Thompson was set to appear before Congress and testify about exactly what happened. So, on the same day as the breach announcement, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi
Nancy who?
purchased $4 million worth of call options in Palo Alto Networks, a leading cybersecurity firm, which resulted in her making a staggering $11.9 million in profits before tax. Now, that cybersecurity company are the ones that were hired to investigate the data breach that happened. What are the odds that Pelosi invested in Palo Alto Networks on the same day United Healthcare experienced a cybersecurity breach? Later, she profits significantly when that company is tasked with investigating the incident. Today, the individual who could potentially expose her alleged misconduct is killed outside his hotel. Quite a coincidence, especially just before the Trump DOJ might have an opportunity to investigate the situation.
Better than market returns.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's getting thick. Pelosi is right in the middle of this one. Boy. What's up, Chris? Chris is in the house. Lord have mercy. this stuff is a lot of information coming out, a lot of information. And we were told, now, I don't know if you guys listen to it or not, but I listened to, there's what's called X22 report. And you can find it on Truth Social. He's an ex-Marine, and he has a lot of information, a lot more information than what we know about. And I listen to that a lot. And there's a lot of inside stuff. McConnell and Schiff and all these people and Pelosi and everybody, these people are criminals. And I believe it's all about to come out. And the ringleader is Obama and Hillary Clinton and Bill. They're all in it. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, screw your wig on tight and get you some popcorn, because the next 20 days is going to be something else. It's going to be a lot of mess coming out. And we found out today that the Senate is more than likely going to confirm President Trump's cabinet. So something is going on there. And a lot of the cabinet members have met with the Senate leaders. And maybe they got some pictures and some videos. I don't know. But all of a sudden, these people are not screaming and hollering. They're saying that they are going to confirm. So it's a mess. So I appreciate y'all dropping in. So now we got the healthcare deal. We got all that done. Now we have a local story right here in Louisiana, in Baton Rouge, as a matter of fact. It seems as though, well, we know, but there's a group of people in East Baton Rouge that have actually seceded from the city of Baton Rouge, and they have formed their own city called St. George. And they've been fighting to do this for the last 5 years, and they finally got it done, and it has been approved. So let's drop down to Louisiana and see what's going on with that. All right, let me get that up there for you. Let's see. This is it right here, I think. Yep. Okay, so now we got this. Yeah, this is it. Baton Rouge, wealthy people, well, they were white, mostly white. But anyway, they succeeded and they went to court and they got it done. It took them 5 years to do it. Well, it's a 10-year battle, I think it was. But anyway, they got it done, and they have actually seceded from Baton Rouge, and they are no longer a part of Baton Rouge, and they have formed their own city. And a lot of people are pissed. So I don't know why would you be pissed if if you black and the white people moved out, why you mad? I don't get it. So I don't understand what's going on. But anyway, here we go. Check it out.
And thank you for joining us for our second half hour. The Factor Uncensored. The headlines from the national media are eye-grabbing at best. Wealthy white Louisiana residents split from Baton Rouge to form their own city. But is race a real issue at the core of this municipal secession? The 86,000 residents who are forming their own city in St. George, Louisiana, say it's about better schools for their children and better city services. Baton Rouge is more than 50% black, and those who are against a split say the city will be hurt by this action to create a new city, which was approved by the Louisiana State Supreme Court last Friday after a 5-year-long battle.
Let me just say this. There's a lot of people who don't care if the mayor's black. I do. Because when it comes to police issues, it matters when you walk into those rooms, the conversations that you have, the results that come out of that. It matters when you talk about contracts to black people, that somebody is actually relying on a black vote in order to deliver for black business owners. We have more black people getting contracts opportunities today in the city of Baton Rouge than we ever have. And so for some people, it's just about, oh, they black and it's their skin color. That matters to me too, because in the history of Baton Rouge, there have been 2 black mayors, Melvin Holden and Sharon Broome. Okay, I believe that we've given black people 2 opportunities in a 200-year history. I ain't giving up the power that we just got to somebody who didn't even believe in voting until he put his name on the ballot.
I'm going to show you what an actual 20-minute trader trade looks like. Come with me. First of all, we have a desk.
But that's me though.
Boy. Here we go with this identity politics, man. Voting for people just because of the color of their skin, which is crazy. And a lot of towns and cities in the United States are in trouble. And from what I understand and what I've seen, the worst cities in America are run by Black people.
Boy. We got to talk about some interesting developments out of East Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where you have some citizens who have been characterized as wealthy white individuals that decided to succeed to segregate themselves from the city of East Baton Rouge by forming their own city called St. George, which would be a part of the larger parish system, but a separate kind of municipality, right? And that pissed off a lot of people. Okay, the woke race hustlers of America got upset because East Baton Rouge has a large Black population, and they saw this as a form of racism, hate, and bigotry, which I found to be interesting because usually the woke revolutionaries, the race hustlers, they beg white people to get away from them, right? That white people being around Black people is a bad thing until white people voluntarily say, hey, we don't want to be around you people anymore. We're going to form our own thing, right? We're going to have our own town. We're going to have our own taxes. We're just going to do our own thing. And all of a sudden, the race hustlers, they're boohoo whining and crying.
2024, guess what? In Louisiana, the state Supreme Court there is allowing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this dude here, man, I think is the biggest grift. I can't stand this guy, man. And I used to watch this show relentlessly every day. That was 5 or 6 years ago. And then come on, man. This guy is the absolute worst. He's worse than Joy Reid. And you know I don't like her.
A largely white community to break apart, separate the city of Baton Rouge to create their own city.
Now, what is BLM? What is a Black prom? What is a Black high school? What is a Black theater? What is the National Association of Black Broadcasters? Black people break off and form their groups all the time. Why is it a problem when white people do it?
This has been a 6-year effort by folks there. On Friday, the Supreme Court granted the formation of the predominantly white city of St. George, which will be separate from Baton Rouge. The ruling is sparking concerns about segregation.
What is it going to take for our people to understand? I remember the comedian Paul Mooney once said, you know, they want to move away from us now, but during slavery and Jim Crow, they wanted us all up under them in their beds and their bedrooms and the kitchens. But now that that's over, they want to get away. What is it going to take to trigger some kind of resurgence in our consciousness to get involved in what has been a long-term strategy for these kind of races, which is to get away from us as far as possible?
Yeah. So you say that you're that. Again, I find this to be fascinating. Usually the race hustlers are begging white people to get away from Blacks, right? Because white people are a danger to Black people. This is usually the argument that they make until white people call their bluff and they say, okay, I bet, right? We leave. Okay, we out of here. We don't want to be around you. Now, all of a sudden, they're on both knees begging the white man, please come back. Please don't leave us. Don't leave us to govern ourselves. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. That's essentially what you got going on here, because these people know, right? The race hustlers know that the wealthy white residents of Baton Rouge leaving to form their own city, right, to have their own thing, well, that means that the tax money is leaving too.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you, the homeowners in the city of Baton Rouge, are asking what exactly the loss of tax revenue in the new city of St. George will mean for your pockets. Our team pressed the mayor on her plan to fill the empty hole in the budget, a plan her administration has had years to put in place. She says they're looking at multiple possibilities on potential cuts.
Now wait a minute. You hear what she said? She said, now this lady, they've had years to put something in place because these people have been working on this thing for a while, right? And they know it was going to happen. So let's see what the mayor has done. What preparation has she done to prepare for this? Check it out.
But she says it's too early for her to share those details with the public.
We have thought of different ways if this ruling were to take place, the percentages, the impact that it would have on the budget, what potential cuts would have to be made. But I'm going to reserve crunching numbers in front of you at this time.
Yeah. So again, that is what the race hustlers were really worried about, right? What they were worried about was the fact that, hey, if these white residents leave, the tax money's leaving, and that's going to put us in a bad place, right? That's going to put us in a bad place because those residents were funding, subsidizing city services, right? I mean, all the other people there, apparently they weren't contributing too much, okay? Because again, they're upset and they're mad, okay, that the white man is leaving, right? They said, we're going to form our own new city. Now, when it comes to St. George, their side of the story was that, hey, the reason why we're leaving is because we just don't like the way that East Baton Rouge is governed. We don't like the mayor president and how she has governed the city, and therefore we want to leave. And there are very specific issues, like, for example, when it comes to schools, education, crime, that led to this breakup.
Andrew Morrell is an attorney and spokesperson for St. George. Thank you for being with us. Appreciate it. Well, this is getting a lot of attention. I'm reading about it everywhere. I know you've been very busy doing interviews. I think, first of all, I want to make clear, you say the city did not split away from Baton Rouge, but you incorporated a new city. What's the difference?
Well, for the last 60, 70 years, our area in East Baton Rouge Parish has been an unincorporated area, meaning our tax dollars are taken from our area and put in the East Baton Rouge Parish General Fund. Now, a parish is our Louisiana way of saying a county. We've never been a city before. We're no different than any other area where people have come together and voted to form their own city. So that's all we did, was exercise our constitutional rights to form a city, to vote, and to self-govern.
But it stirred up a lot of talk. And I think the one being, and I want you to clarify this, is this was a racist move, that most of the people in St. George are white, most of the people in Baton Rouge are black. Was this racist? Address that criticism.
Well, no, it's a divisive narrative that's created for people not to look beyond the surface of the issue. The issue was we have high taxes, we have high crime, we have one of the worst education systems in a country, state ranked dead last in education, and we want more opportunities. And citizens have been fleeing our parish for decades now. We're declining in population. Our effort was to stay in the parish and save the parish. We're not leaving. We're actually trying to make our parish better.
Yeah. So you see, now you heard that. Okay. So the residents of St. George are saying, no, we're not racist. We have actual legitimate issues that we feel like the best thing to do is just to have our own city and to do our own thing and, to govern ourselves, right? That's what we want. We don't want to continue to participate in having to suffer the consequences of a municipality that basically has voted Democrat for the last 2 decades, okay? And their concerns actually were vindicated because this Democrat mayor, Miss Sharon Watson Broom, was just ousted as the mayor of East Baton Rouge by a high school football coach by the name of Sid Edwards, who now is going to become East Baton Rouge's first Republican mayor president in, again, nearly 2 decades. So 2 decades of voting Democrat. This city decides that, hey, we're going to basically govern ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. And now the residents are replacing the Democrat mayor with a Republican. Take a look.
I know a lot of people are in disbelief. None more than me, I can say.
Coach Sid Edwards, your new mayor president of East Baton Rouge Parish, winning by a stunning 54% of the vote, defeating incumbent Sharon Weston Broome in today's runoff election. Edwards winning on the first time ever running for office, Broome being handed her first ever loss in her long political career. Hello and welcome to this late edition of 9 News at 10. I'm Dion Guillory. We have team coverage from the campaign headquarters of Sid Edwards and Sharon Weston Broome, but we kicked that coverage off by taking you to the winning camp. For that,
we ran a great campaign. We ran a positive campaign. We never veered from that. And I can tell you, from my fellow Catholics in here, this rosary right here, we rolled in beads every day during all our travels and everywhere we needed to go. A movement. But the people spoke tonight, and it's also a mandate. When you consider the numbers and how many people are ready for change, and all of you in here with myself we've said it the entire time. We are the change agent. We're not saying that everything has been bad in Baton Rouge. We never said that. But there are some things that need to change. And it's my promise to you as the next mayor president, it's going to happen.
The biggest complaint I've heard from people here in Baton Rouge, including Democrats who might have been previously Broome voters, is they're not happy with crime and they're not happy with the way the police department treats citizens. Now, I've never had those experiences myself, but that's what I'm hearing from people, that the law enforcement angle, the crime problem in Baton Rouge is really the most compelling. And those are things that the coach was able to touch on too. Look, every poll I've done for the last decade shows crime in the top 3 concerns everywhere. In one of the most crime-free parishes, St. Tammany Parish, where I do a lot of work, that crime still polls and public safety still polls high. So when you're able to push those emotional buttons with people and capitalize on that fear, it really motivates voters. She couldn't do that.
Yep, she lost. She lost. Ladies and gentlemen, people are sick of the Democrats. So that is what it is. That's what's going on. So that's happening all over the place. So anyway, that's that one. Let me see. I had a bonus. I got one guy. This guy here, man. I don't know if I don't even want to. Let me see. Well, yeah. Let me show you this one. This is Dr. Steve Turley. And what do you think would happen if Donald Trump got rid of the IRS completely? Ladies and gentlemen, do you understand that is one of the things that he is trying to do? But some of y'all are so stuck on the Democratic Party and all the rhetoric and that Trump is a bad man, he's racist and he's this and that and all that. And you haven't even stopped to think that, ladies and gentlemen, you live in America. There's no such thing as white laws and black laws. Not anymore. That hasn't happened since Jim Crow. And who got rid of all that? The Republican Party. Y'all don't know your history. But anyway, President Trump is trying to eliminate the IRS completely, right? But remember, I told you earlier that all of his candidates have been, are going to be, all of his cabinet members are going to be approved. So something is going on. But anyway, this is another clip. Let me show you this one. This is a Righteous Perspective. This is his channel. He does a great job. He's not like me. He don't curse. But anyway, he does a great job. But Donald Trump is pushing for zero income tax. And let me show you what's going on with this clip. Let me get this up here right quick. And we're gonna roll on from there. Zero income tax, ladies and gentlemen. And he think he can do it if he pushed the tariffs and make China and these other countries pay for importing their goods, make them pay us, right? They bring tons and tons of goods over here in America and sell them, and we don't get anything for it. And that's one of the reasons why we don't have manufacturing here that much in the United States. It's all being done overseas, and then they bring the goods in. But President Trump is going to put tariffs on them and make them pay. And if he does it and it's effective the way he believes, we won't have to pay income taxes and we won't have the IRS. Are you cool with that? Don't you see that we got the right president Pastor Benson.
Is that if we all push it together, and like today, if it goes viral that Edward Snowden should get the pardon, the good news about Trump, and this is, I always give credit where credit is due, is he actually listens to people. Like he cares about his base. And this is what drives me crazy about the Democratic Party. They don't care about their base at all. They kind of don't like their base, right? But when I put out the tweet about Elon Musk and cutting the Pentagon, why did Elon and Donald Trump Jr. respond? Is it because of me? Maybe partially, but mainly it was because look at all those right-wingers in the comments section going, yeah, cut the Pentagon. Yes, conflict of interest rules for generals. And I bet I can get agreement on that here too, right? But I am curious. Do you guys want to cut the Pentagon?
Of course. Cut the Pentagon. So let's go through a couple different numbers because we actually just did this the other day. The annual budget of how much the U.S. government spent last year was what, Rob? $4.7 trillion. I think the number is $4.7 trillion. Okay. Of the $4.7 trillion, what is it? 6.1. I know, but I took the 1.4 out. Right, they're about $4.5 trillion in revenue is what it gets. We spent 6.1 trillion, so about 4.5, 4.7 is the money that comes in that we collect.
Yeah, our
right?
income is about 5 trillion, and our expenses is over 6. So we're well over $1 trillion
of the
4.7
trillion. You know where we spend the most money, Rob? Can you type in where we spend most of the money? What percent?
Hey, welcome back to the channel, Shaman Wise. We got to talk about this, man.
Yeah.
A strong dollar is a wrecking ball for a lot of U.S. companies. And so that was one thing.
I despise paying income tax.
Me too.
It is so ridiculous, especially when you hear how much money is being spent on nonsense. Now think about this, man. How can you operate a country? It brings in whatever trillion dollars, but spends $6.1 trillion a year. This is insanity. This is insanity. Think about that, man. How in the hell? How are these people able to continue to run this country?
Yeah.
If you operated your business the way that these people run their country, you'd be bankrupt a long time ago.
Yep.
This is outrageous, man. We got to see this. We got to check this out, man. They're going to dive into these numbers. You guys are in for it, man.
Check it out.
You hear about the waste, how much money is brought in, and the fact that this daggone income tax stuff is illegal. We should not be paying federal income tax at all.
That's true.
Let's go. Like, share, subscribe to the channel.
That's true.
Percentage goes to what? Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I do.
What is it?
It's all Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Those are the big
You know
three.
what's three?
Yeah.
Military. Okay,
and
so
then,
now check this out.
You know what's tied with the military
What's that?
is the interest on our debt.
Right. But
It's well over $1 trillion.
It is. But so check this out. I got a couple ideas if you're going there. I have a couple ideas on if you zoom in, Rob, I just want to show the categories because I think it's 27%, 21%, 18%. Brandon, can you send it right
Rob,
there?
if you go to that and hit images.
So 21% Social Security, 18% National Defense, 15% Health, 13% Medicare. And if you go in the charts for the audience to see, there's a few things that we need to do because this is the problem. I don't think that's the one. There's another one that's a better one. That's an older one. Anyways, this is my thoughts on this. And actually, we put some time thinking about. Do you know what U.S. just 150 years ago? Do you know where 100% of our revenue was coming from?
Tariffs. Yep.
100% was tariffs.
100%.
100%. Yeah. No income tax.
We lived. Everything for us was off of tariffs. Okay. Everything for us was off of tariffs. Okay. Do you know the U.S. government, what percentage of the U.S. income they were living off of? Meaning the money that we make, the money that we make that they tax, 2%. Now it's 37%. They rely on what we do and what we produce, okay? Tariffs. We get rid of tariffs. We introduce taxes. Every time taxes was introduced, you know what it was due? For war, right? Let's do this war, no problem. What's his name comes out? Lincoln comes out, Civil War. Hey, guys, we need to tax you up to 7%. It's tiers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Great. Once we pay off the debt for the war, we'll stop taxing you. Guess what happened 10 years later?
Another war.
No, they paid off the war. They stopped taxing.
Oh.
So it's like, okay, we're done. Next. Okay, we're done. Boom, next. Do you know in 1894 what happened? Rob, type in 1894, Supreme Court ruled, I think it's called something against farmers, Pollack against farmers. Type in Pollack against farmers. Do you know in 1894 what Supreme Court ruled unconstitutional? Income taxes. In 1894, Supreme Court ruled Pollack versus farmers that federal income tax was unconstitutional. That's just 100 years ago.
Unconstitutional. As per the Supreme Court. Why are we still paying these daggone income taxes? Why? And we don't even have...
ladies and gentlemen, this part of the show is sponsored by Tater Tax. If you don't want your money to go to the government, you better call Big Al this tax season because I'll get it all back. Damon, type in the chat. Let me know how Big Al does on the taxes. Anybody else? Yeah, I can't see who's all in here, but is anybody a client? Let the people know. Big Al don't play with them taxes. Anyway, y'all holler at us if you want to get your money back. We will maximize the tax system and take advantage of loopholes and laws. Of course, we don't cheat. It's all legal. We do the same thing the big guys do. We know what to do and we know how to do it. So shout outs to Big Al and Tater Tax.
Have a say as to what happens with the money. These people are just, they're robbing us, man.
Yeah, I told you. See, hey, didn't I tell you that? What I've been saying. They are robbing us. It's point blank. They are robbing us. They take all our money and they send it overseas. They don't care about no people overseas. They get the money back. They launder the money and they live like kings and queens. And we got people that's outside because a hurricane hit them. These people are so selfish and greedy, they don't even take care of the American people. And they got plenty of money to do that. Plenty of money. They just are stone cold greedy. And they are criminal. That's why they didn't want President Trump back in the White House. He's going to clean it up.
Just 100 years ago. Then what happens? Then all of a sudden we have 1913. Two things happen.
Real fast, in the comment section. How many of you guys can get behind raising the tariffs, charging countries to do business, to sell products in our country in exchange for eliminating the income tax? How many of you guys are for that?
I'm with it.
In 1913, right before World War I, what is it? Federal Reserve and taxes gets introduced. What happens in 1914? You got World War I starts. Then what happens? You know what happens next in the 30s? You know when we introduce and we accept it? The taking income from your paycheck. Nobody did that. It's the, what do you call it when you're taking income out of your payroll taxes? And American people are like, yeah, let's agree to it. Dead. From that moment on, you were done. You agreed for the government to take taxes before you make money. That was like, this is what we fought for, right? So then fast forward to today. Do you know right now with the revenues that we get, what the exact dollar amount the U.S. government gets from tariffs?
Now?
Do you know what the exact dollar amount we get from tariffs?
It's low.
What do you think the dollar amount, income that comes into them?
Ooh.
From us, they're getting
low.
$4.7 trillion, give or take, right?
How much are we?
Of the $4.7 trillion that the U.S. gets, what percentage you think is other countries paying tariffs?
Less than
What do you think is the
5%.
dollar amount?
What do you think? What do you think?
Give me the dollar amount. Of the
Let me know in the comment section. Throw the dollar amount in there before they say it.
$4.7 trillion. What do you think is the dollar amount that we collect?
50 billion.
What do you think? 50 billion out of 4.7 trillion?
That's very low.
That's like 99.9% is on us. 1.2 what?
Trillion?
What do you think it is, Tom?
No, I don't think it's in the trillions. I'm guessing. I think it's in the billions.
I'm gonna stay closer to $1.5 trillion.
$1.5 trillion. You know what the number is? $80 billion.
Look at this guy. That is I took the under. Look at this guy.
$80 billion in tariffs. And people have the nerve to be upset by Trump saying these countries are robbing us. And people got not the nerve to be upset. But the thing is that they don't know. They don't know. that we're being robbed. This country is being pillaged by everybody else around the world.
Tom,
yes.
Tell me you're not shell-shocked. Please tell me you're not shell-shocked.
I'm completely shell-shocked. I know
watch
the War
this.
Powers Act of
Check
the
this
War
out.
Revenue Act.
You may be
1918.
asking yourself, I asked you a question about Pentagon. What the hell does this have to do with Pentagon? You know what it has to do with Pentagon? Do you know right now?
Okay, this is the
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to show you that one that Donald Trump is pushing hard and to put tariffs on the imports that's coming in. And if he gets that done, he might be able to get rid of income taxes completely. And why would you be mad about that? But y'all don't understand who we have in the White House. So I'm talking to the people that still pissed off that Kamala didn't get in. You should be thanking your heaven that she didn't, because we dodged a bullet, ladies and gentlemen. And I think we would be catching holy hell if that had gone the other way. But anyway, I appreciate y'all stopping by today. And if it's okay with you, I am going to get up out of here. I'll holler at you. Hit that like button on the way out, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Real deal. Yo, post that gal on the mic, UncleCoon in the house. Dropping knowledge, stay true, no room for doubt. From debates to celebs, we cover it all. Tune in, hit subscribe, you don't want to miss the call. Real deal. Al UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride. Politics, pop culture, and everything between. Big Al's got the scoop, you know what I mean? From Harris to Trump, we break it down. Common sense talk, the best show around. Real. Al UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride. Cash App, show some love, support the grind. Big Al's on the rise, one of a kind. UncleCoon podcast, the place to be for real talk, real folks, and real TV. Real. Al UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride.